Welcome to the Jim Fleming Show on the Rhody Sports Network. From Learfield, tonight's show is brought to you by Pizza Gourmet. Rhode Island's wood-grilled pizza crust is a proud sponsor of URI football. Clean Right, fast 24/7 emergency cleaning and disaster restoration. Floor and Decor, shop unmatched selection and get flooring, tile, and wood at unbeatable prices. Orthopedics Rhode Island, the official orthopedic and sports medicine provider for URI Athletics. Dave's Fresh Marketplace. Better food, better service. Newport Propane, Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Here's your host, Steve MacDonald.
All righty, it is another season of URI football. Jim Fleming Coaches Show, edition number 1, and we are right here at the Mews Tavern. George McAuliffe rolling out the red carpet. We are outside. Speaking of number 1, show number 1, team number 1 in the CAA is the University of Rhode Island. Preseason poll, number 1 in the league and one of the top 10 teams in the United States of America. 130 years of football celebrating at the University of Rhode Island. I think you and I have been around for about 120 of those, right?
I would give you certainly 120 is what I feel like, but that's that time of year. Let's go play.
Absolutely. 130 is going to be a special year.
Yes, it is.
129 was certainly a special year indeed. CAA championship for the University of Rhode Island, and now they'll be defending that title. We're going to get into all this stuff, Coach. I do want to mention before we start and before we forget, Megan Coots, who is the sports information director in charge of URI football, and she is being promoted and moving in the within the URI system. I'm going to take over as the chief of the compliance department at URI. So you be careful around Megan.
You can't give her chief yet. She still has Casey Light she's got to answer.
Okay, all right.
Where is Megan?
Meg's over here in the corner.
She's been an incredible addition to our program. You know, we all know that we all love old Shane Donaldson.
Oh, yeah.
He had so many things to do with the development of our program, but when Meg took over, it was a seamless transition. And as goes at the University of Rhode Island, when people do good things and do things well, that the value is shown. And our administration, led by Thor and the rest of the group, and Mark, recognized keep good people around. You got to put them in positions to allow them to elevate. We've had that same experience with Brittany Miles, our associate athletic director, and the program has really just been growing. The entire thing just so exponentially over the years. It's just something very cool to watch with, and great tribute to Thor and everybody who's put a lot of work into to keep people here and keep moving the ball, moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. And from my standpoint, from the media side of things, I want to thank Meg for all her hard work to keep us up to date and coordinate with the members of the media. Does an awesome job, and she's a great friend, and we appreciate her. And it's so good to have her still on campus, still within the athletic department, and we'll be seeing plenty of Meg, but we appreciate all that she's done and certainly that Shane has done as well. Coach, we've got a full slate here. We've got Jim Fleming to start us off, of course, and then A.J. Pena is waiting on deck. He's right there. He's ready to go. Usually we're going to go find him in the other room, Coach.
Let me tell you something. I guess the closer we get to game time, I keep him closer and closer because I just want to make sure I have that security blanket. But let me make a shout-out over here to Ann and Jan.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Jan was the pastor of the church up on top of campus for a long period of time, and has been an incredible supporter and a great friend of ours. She's sitting over here, made her efforts to come down to this thing today.
Oh,
so I'd like
fantastic.
to give Ann and Jan a little hey and tell them how much we love them.
Absolutely. Thor is stealing food from Jen right now, I think.
You got to watch Thor. You got to get that free meal, man.
Got a big plate of chicken wings. Thor's going to grab one, That's you're a pastor. You're going to let that go, I think, right? I mean, Jen's of the forgiving type, I'm sure, as pastors usually are. So we not only have Jim, but we have A.J. Pena going to be with us in a little bit, and Devin Farrell as well. So we got about 5 minutes with you, Coach, and we're going to get to those guys.
That's the way we design these things. Less is more.
Absolutely. Hey, speaking of A.J., we're going to have him on in a little bit. You got to tell the story. This was, in all my years, this has got to be the funniest story. Thor was there. A few others were there for after the spring game. We had the breakup dinner, the awards dinner for URI football to kind of close out the season after spring practice and all. And A.J. was there. He's the Defensive Player of the Year and won a few other awards as well, came up to speak. A very emotional speech. Coach, I want you to take it from there.
You love going to those things. Yeah, he came back, and then the the decisions that these kids have the opportunity to make nowadays are way beyond my experience at that age.
And at that day, there was no decision.
There was no decision.
Right.
He had taken off. He'd gone down to Memphis. He missed his teammates. We wanted him back badly to celebrate, the accomplishments of last year's team, as we've already recognized. He was a big part of it. And but he got up there and said his words, which means a lot to his teammates, but also gave us the little feeder of, hey, stay tuned. Things might be happening. Things might be changing. And I'm sure for us, we were very excited. We have a little bit inside track, and we kind of expected and hoped and counted on him to get back here. But if that thing got across the rest of the conference, I heard a lot of other people go, oh, shit, you know what?
So here's the deal, right? AJ's at the podium. I was emceeing, so I was behind him at the long table that they have. And Jim was in the first table on the other side of AJ, so I could see Jim through AJ. I saw AJ's back, right, and I could see Coach through him. And as AJ said, as for the future, I looked at Coach. And you ever see those cartoons where the eyes just bug out? Coach's eyes were like coming out of his head. He thought he was going to say, I'm coming back. And he said, stay tuned. And Coach fell off his chair. But we had to get Leslie to drive him home that day.
Shoulder surgery later. We're all set, ready to go, man.
But in good time, AJ decided to come back, and I think that deserves a great round of applause. Right. So happy to have you home, my friend. So happy to have you home. You and Dev going to be with us in a little bit. They're waiting, and Coach, want to get your thoughts. One more thing about AJ, and then we're going to move on. But I was listening to the coach's press conferences the other day, and Braxton Harris, Campbell head coach, somebody asked him about the concerns of AJ Pena, and he said, we have to know where he is on every snap. Talk about how he affects your defense.
Well, yeah, he affects it first and foremost as a leader and and an emotional guy out there that plays extremely hard. That's what we're all about on defense. It's team defense. He plays his role. He obviously has some special talents to be able to get to the quarterback. For Braxton Harris, that's a canned answer. I'm gonna say the same thing. Hey,
Coach
man,
talk.
At 99, man, he's a real pain. We got to know where he is every time. Well, you can't hide in this game. I mean, he's going to be somewhere. So you have to set your protections where. I think it'll be a very interesting thing to see how people take care of him. AJ knows what he's against. He's going to get chipped by running backs. He's going to get doubled. They're going to put the protection towards him to make it harder. But we've got other people on the team that are going to be able to fill in those gaps. And AJ has an opportunity to break down a lot of people with, speed, athleticism, particularly speed to power. But, the one thing we're missing, the reason these two guys are here is, because they are captains of this football team, and that was an honor that was bestowed upon them by their teammates. And when we went through and voted, I asked every one of the kids to give an offensive captain and a defensive captain. We ended up with four really good captains that I'm really looking forward to. But these guys, here's a guy that took off and left, and he had the most votes of anybody on the squad, and Deb was right there with them. So, I mean, their teammates think a lot of them, not only as players, as people, as leaders. They're just they're what Rhode Island's football is all about, and I'm thrilled that we got them both, and thrilled to see what's going to happen on Saturday. They'll be ready for him. They'll find AJ. Right? They're not going to lose.
Braxton will be looking for him.
No doubt.
Number 8. Hopefully, he'll be looking at great games.
We're changing his number. We're changing. Hey, good luck, Braxton. Here we go.
I think we may have the first time in football history where we have 4 captains, 2 wearing the same number 8. Right? Greg Gaines is on there, and Case Mankin's also on the defensive side. Talk about those 4 together: Devin and Greg, and then AJ and Case Mankin.
I mean, I think they're all very representative of the kind of kid we get here at URI. I mean, you look at it truthfully. I mean, AJ is homegrown. We went up to Milford Academy and pulled that guy up. Steph Wheeler found him, came on in, and he's just gotten better and better all the time. Obviously, Dev, was looking for something, came in for Virginia Tech. Greg, he was a transfer from Iowa State. But then you got Case, who's a homegrown boy, and he's a guy that, right up the road. And, he's those kind of kids that we've had that gone through the program that come in that people might overlook a little bit, but they work extremely hard, and they're very talented football players and have very bright futures. But, that's a very strong group of leadership. But what was most impressive about the voting is that it wasn't just those 4. There was a number of guys throughout the entire program that got significant votes from their teammates. So there's going to be a lot of people on the field that people will look to keep a steady goal and a steady process during the course of those 60 minutes of chaos. But these four guys are true leaders, and the squad will follow their words, but mostly follow their actions and how they prepare and how they go out there and compete. And I can't wait to see it happen. 2024
CAA champs. How about that, right? We love that. I was told that the last day that you really acknowledged or celebrated that was the first day of camp.
Yeah, that's right. We all have expectations, but at the same time, you mentioned at the outset of the show, that was 129. That team accomplished something that hadn't happened here at the University of Rhode Island for a long period of time. That's something that we are extremely proud of. We've got a lot of kids who played on that squad, learned how we went through the season, how to be able to achieve those things, and we'll certainly carry that experience through. But we got 46 new kids. We got 23 transfers. We got guys that have come in for a number of different reasons. So this team is different. We have high expectations. I think, we want to better our best, and that's hard to do.
Sure, right.
11 games. Now you got to go 12, 13, 14, and 15.
That'd
okay.
be fine. 15 sounds good, right, John Parenti? That's about right.
It's really, but those things are possible in this game. But it's only possible with day-to-day preparation, a little bit of luck. The ball's got to ball's got to bounce the right way at times for you, and you got to find a way to win close games. And you can't get to better in your best unless you win the first one.
Yep.
So, it's pretty simple. A couple nights we're going to find out what we have. It's a new team. It's a talented team. I think our coaching staff is second to none. It's never been in a better position with leadership, intelligence, communal thoughts and processes. It's been really fun to watch. The older you get and the further you step back and watch people take over the X's and O's and do the details on the day-to-day and see that done in the right way. It's been very rewarding, and I'm very proud of this staff. They got these guys ready to go.
One more thing about last year, having the championship behind it, and the last 5 years' success for Rhode Island, how much does that affect the portal guys that you've been able to bring into this program? One of the most successful teams in the CAA at bringing talented, quality people into the program through the portal.
Well, I'm sure it helps. I'm sure people don't want to go to a place that, feel like you have to rebuild. They want to win. Kids want to win. But, the thing that's been the magic sauce for us, in my mind, is that when they come to campus, they get around the kids that are here. They recognize the character of the kids that are here. They recognize that the kids have a focus on what they want to achieve here, and people want to be part of that. People want to be part of success. People want to be part of, coming into an established program that is about doing things the right way on a day-to-day basis, because football is very important not only to the individuals but to the group. And what I told them this morning is the only thing left to be determined is how committed are you to each other to do your job every snap for the next 5 months.
That's all.
For 5 months. That's all.
Yeah.
And stay focused and do those things, because knowing that if you don't do your job, a chance of our success goes down. So do your job and do it well and do it with great passion.
So here's 2025. Number 9 in the Stats Perform FCS poll. Number 10 in the AFCA FCS poll. Number 1 preseason in the CAA. Top 7 teams in one poll. One expert put out that has the best chance to win its first FCS title. One of the 7 teams that would win their first. Top 5 offensive lines in the FCS. In one other poll, All-Americans were for Marquise Buchanan, a Walter Payton Award watch list for him, and also Buck Buchanan Award for A.J. Pena on the watch list there, and a CAA preseason Defensive Player of the Year. 4th most likely FCS team to get an FBS win. You've got Western Michigan coming up later this year. All of that, Coach, is it hard to keep the coaches or the players grounded?
Let me tell you something. What grounds me right there is that lady right there. She's shaking her head, man. And that's my wife, Leslie. Right? It's rat poison. We have not done anything yet. All right? We have not won a game. We have not gotten a first down. Those things are outstanding. It's great. You get recognition because you have success. But I think our kids are grounded enough. You have to go out and earn it each and every day. And so, we've been at the bottom. We've been at the top. Now we've been at both spectrums. And each time I've said preseason stuff doesn't matter at all. And it really doesn't. And it certainly doesn't matter to to Campbell, who's coming in. They're getting on a plane and flying up here. They know that they can beat Rhode Island, and they have a quality win to start their season. For us right now, we got to go out, we got to find a way to win them, and then just go ahead and find a way the next one, and the next one they're going to be hard all the way down the road, and we understand that. So yes, our kids are grounded, and we'll make sure that they understand that it's a 6-minute battle. You got to play every single snap, and as long as we play right and play the game the way it's supposed to be, physical, hard, and smart, and tough, and hold together, then you take the outcome. If the team's better than you, they are. All right, but we're a good football team, and we need to prove that every week.
Campbell last year was on the minus side of 500, but they gave Rhode Island a big push early in the year, 21-9 win for Rhode Island, but a 7-3 game at the half, and you stopped them at the goal line at the end of that second quarter. Otherwise, they would have had the lead. They had the 10th toughest schedule in FCS football. This is a team that you have to give a lot of respect to.
I think so. I mean, I think you give respect to anybody you play anyway, but I mean, it's they're all going to be tough. I mean, anybody who watched this closely last year know that they were sitting there on pins and needles in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. We were all on pins and needles in the fourth quarter, waiting to see how that game was going to turn out. And the tribute to that team last year was their ability to persevere through tough times and come out on the right side of it. Now, you got to go do that again. I would much prefer to be able to sit there and go into every game, halftime sit there and say, all right, boys, go get you. Let's get the seconds and thirds in and have a good time. But it's been 11 years here. I haven't had that game yet, so I don't think we're going to get it this year either. So we got a good team. We're going to have to play 60, and this team coming in is dangerous.
Campbell outgained Rhode Island, 348 to 247 in that game,
Yep.
and 211 to 140 in passing.
Yep.
Dev had a couple of touchdown passes and ran for a touchdown as well. Had himself a good day. Marquise and Greg were his two favorite targets that day. So some of the guys that won you that game are back. So that's certainly good news, but a good test for Rhode Island to get things started. URI is, though, 19-3, Coach, at home over the last 4 years. That has become a tough place to play.
Thank you to everybody who comes out there, man. It is really, you came into this place and, wins are tough to get. We all know that. But I think that we have created an environment at Meade Stadium that is second to none in our conference. Certainly, we've got, the other people might have a little bit more bells and whistles and all that stuff. But you walk into that place, that's a tough place to play. People are loud. They're involved in the game. They stay to the very end. They know that there's excitement there. And truth be told, I mean, I would think, that when I walk out Ellery Pond after a game, I mean, people have had a really good day. And to get back on campus and see what a beautiful school URI is and how well it's grown and where we're going with it, and it's just sky's the limit for the place, and it's a signature piece of our state, and we're very proud to represent them on the football field.
Friday night, 6 o'clock. I hear there are some tickets. Meg, some tickets still available for that game Friday night? Yeah, so make sure you get there. That is going to be game one of the season for the University of Rhode Island, and you want to be there. The CAA game as well, Coach. You got two CAA games right out of the gate at Stony Brook the weekend after this. Is that preferred? I mean, usually it's either an FBS school or a non-conference game first.
Is it preferred? I don't know. I'm not going to take it either way. I know this. A conference game in August is just as important as a conference game in November.
That first one's a wild card, though, right?
I mean, the first one is. The second one is you got to go down to Stony Brook. I mean, that team's surging. I mean, it's going to take everything. But, I mean, our focus to go one at a time. And obviously if we can find a way to start the season off and put two conference wins in the pocket, that's going to be a good sigh of relief. But there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of good football to be played to be able to make that happen, because these are two quality teams, and we will never take anybody lightly. We're going to have to play at our best, but we got some dudes still. We got some guys that you guys have not seen play yet that I promise you'll be very, very excited about. The running back group is unbelievable. Additional receivers are here. The defensive backs have come a long, long way. Just excited to see what can become of this football team. And who knows? We're going to find out Friday night what we got.
Talk about the running backs. Last year you had a quality group. They're all gone for the most part. Carson Harwood is back, but Grant, Silas, Sloat, all out the door, graduating at the University of Rhode Island and moving on, but some big, big talent coming in to fill their spots, Coach.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've been watching these guys all summer, all spring. Antoine Littleton is a flat beast. I mean, I think we can all tip our hat to what Malik Grant did for us last year. I mean, he was phenomenal for us. But you look at Antoine coming in here, you've got Gabe Winovich, who is a kid who came here, he's a young kid, came in from Rutgers, had an opportunity to get paid big money to stay there because the coach wanted him to play linebacker, but we say come play running back, and he wanted to stay. He's a kid out of Detroit, and I think he's got some real talent. B.J. Barrow, the kid who came in from Stanford, he's been nicked up with a hamstring, but once we get him healthy, I think that there's going to be something special there. And, and then, Dev's legs aren't sloppy, you sit there and watch what happens. He's been spinning the ball like a big-time quarterback with accuracy and getting it where it goes, and I think that the coaching and the scheme has really been evolved around his abilities. But when things break down and a guy can pull it down and run, it changes the game. And he did that for his last year against these guys at Campbell. And there'll be times we can get that. If we can get about 40 to 60 yards out of him out of his legs each week, and then 4,000 or so throwing, we'll be all right.
Hey, no big deal. Just about $4,000 to be good, Dev. Speaking of Devin, last year in camp there was a quarterback competition for that top spot. This year coming to camp, not the case. There was competition for the 2 spot, but not the 1. So Devin had a chance to ramp himself up for game 1. What did you like from what you saw?
Well, I like the fact that just what happened. He got named a captain, which means that his composure and his leadership on a day-to-day basis was recognized by his teammates, which was a piece that always is part of a growth process for a quarterback. I thought the backup quarterback competition was really phenomenal. We had Ryan Jankowski, who came in, as a transfer, and we had Connor Kenyon, who battled out. Connor's, won that second team spot, but both of them are playing very effective. And, I feel really good about that room. They've got good command of what we need to do. So, we're going to try to keep QB1 healthy and make sure he stays in there the whole time. But, he's operating at a very high level. And as it's not easy to move the ball at times. We're going to have to be patient, but we do have the ability to balance the run and the throw. And there's a lot of tools out there. And I think, as I mentioned before, the offensive staff has done an incredible job of just putting pieces together that are going to give us the best opportunity of success on the offensive side.
We love Jankowski. We love Kenyon, right? We love McClellan.
We love them all, man. We love all.
We hope we never hear their names again during the season, right? Dev can take every snap. That'd be great. Yeah. And if so, they're ready to go. That is for sure. Coach at tight end, Kevin Schaefer returns healthy, ready to give you a lot. And Connor Feiner is an interesting cat.
I tell you what, that whole room has really changed over. It's been fun. We made a change of coordinator. Mike Fleming is going to be calling defense.
Yeah.
Calling the offense, and he's coached. Tight ends. He's coached running backs. He's coached the offensive line last year. He's gone back to tight ends, and it's been phenomenal because it's not just a Schaefer. You got Feiner, who is very similar. Not build-wise, but same kind of concept as Tommy Smith gave us last year, the ability to be inside, outside, do a number of different things. But, wait, you see this kid, you got this kid Will Dixon, who came in. He's a big, monstrous kid. Matt Smith, big tight ends. They're big targets. They move well. Not saying they're burners, but they all are very good hand catchers, and they're going to be a problem. And, I saw that group walking off the field today, and I said, you guys, this group might have more production, all right, from the tight end position than we've had over the last 11 years out of the tight end group, because we never seemed to throw the ball to the tight end, which was the other evil look I used to get from my wife at the end of every game.
That and you didn't mow the lawn, right?
I mow the lawn, man. I take care of that.
Hey, at wideout, everybody talks about Buchanan and Gaines as the 1-2 punch, and rightfully so, but there's some depth to that wide receiver core.
Yeah, I take a good look at Obora Kwarteng. He's a kid who came in from Sacred Heart. He was a young player. He's developed tremendously. He's big. He's physical. I can't draw comparisons to the great ones like Aaron Parker, but built that way, physical, tough. And then you look at some slot guys that really have some incredible speed that can play. Omari Walker, Jamal Mensah, those guys can take the top off of it. You've had Stank. We call him Stank. He's a great kid. He's, smaller kid that can shake and bake. He's had some injuries, but probably leaving out a couple. Ryan Black's had a good fall there's a number of guys we can roll up in there. But obviously you mentioned the big guns, with Marquise and with Greg. Those are two primary targets. But there's some other guys going to get the balls, and they can do something with it as well.
And Dev's best friends, 5 starters back on the offensive line. You add Nick Thomas, Christian Smith. You got yourself a nice rotation.
Oh man, that was. We do have a very nice rotation. Coach Drake Jackson is in here for his first full-time year, so
he could play too, huh? Kentucky.
He played at Kentucky.
He's All-America, right?
I don't know what he was, and I don't really care.
Some sketchy All-America list.
As long as he coaches the guys to All-American status, we're good to go.
There's a million of them out there.
But he's been a really, really good coach. He's taken a number of guys that started for us and played. We've got a number of guys that have had great talent there, and to try to find the best 5 to put out there at the first snap. It's been a challenge, and he pulled me over right before practice today. He said, "Take a look at that." I said, "I think that's the 5 we're going with," and I agree with him. And then you have answers if anybody struggles. So there's going to be a lot of guys that can roll in there, and I think that will do nothing but help us, both in run and pass game.
Up front, you've got Case Mankins, Kareem Wilson, a little bit of a bump the road, ready to hopefully help out. And then linebacker A.J. Pena, Moses Mews. But after last year, you looked and you said, "Boy, linebacker is going to be the big question mark."
Yeah.
Seems like you got some answers now.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah.
The guy you're gonna love this Rohan Davey. He's a smaller height guy, but he plays with a tremendous passion. He's a great communicator. He runs around. He's gonna be something. He's like a little bigger Freddie Millay. You remember Freddie? He'd show up where he shouldn't have shown up, and he'd knock someone around. This guy's going to be the same way. Moses has had a really nice development there. Samo Fury is a great story. Junior college kid, came in at an awful, just a weird shoulder injury. So he's been waiting. I asked him today in front of the team. He said, "How long have you been waiting for this opportunity to take your pads and put them fully through somebody?" He said, "I've been waiting 2 years." He said 2 years, and that's been true. And that and for a kid who goes through that kind of anguish, it's mental, man. It's mental, it's physical, coming through a tough injury, getting yourself prepared, checking it out, making sure it can hold up, and that kid's going to be an interesting guy to watch.
You could see that at camp when I was there. He played with fire.
Well, when you sit there and you look at him and you look at that guy, you'll say, "Boy, he's built just like Jim Fleming."
Not the first thing that came to mind, but
no,
now that you say it, I can see it.
He looks like Adonis. I promise you, there is absolutely no resemblance there.
I can see it. Yeah. In the DBs, you've got some veterans back there, right under to Pena Gray, Yindi Johnson in the corner. You got some depth there as well, but also some new blood coming in.
Yeah, there is. I'm really looking forward to. I was concerned about that spot. We've got 2 young kids we brought in a couple of years ago that that have continued to steadily improve and are ready for some game time. Trey Lubin is a kid we brought in. He had been at Kaiser University to University of Memphis, had a knee injury. At that level, it seems they're pretty quick to just throw kids away. We brought him in. I think he's going to be a contributor for us there. In the back end, one of his partners, Justin Carcel, he's been showing up. Layson Hibbert, another kid out of LIU, he's shown up in the back end. It's going to be a number of guys back there, but we got a number of answers, and they've improved steadily. And, really pleased watching the development not only of those kids, but the coaching. We got Henry Young-Koplis, who's one of our all-time favorites, ex-captain who jumped right into coaching, and Brandon Holt. They've kind of split the secondary with corners and safeties, and they're doing a phenomenal job. And those are tough positions to play. That's the last stop before the bus stop. Nothing goes over the head, and they got to be there for you in the right spot at all time. 0 defects. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they come along, and I'm excited about the way that group's going to continue to get better throughout the year.
I can't speak for the guys from Kaiser, although you do have a couple on the team now. But the guys from Memphis, you mentioned he was at Memphis as well. Always good to get the guys from Memphis. Absolutely.
Memphis.
Hey, final thing, Coach, the specialist. You got a lot of new faces there.
That was the story of all time. This whole summer has been nuts. But we had identified 2 kids to come in as transfers, both one a kicker, one a punter, had issues with, eligibility or some, paperwork type thing that we had to deal with. So we went out and found a couple more. So we've got a very, very exciting group that can kick the ball a very long way. Our punters, it's completely different. We're going to start a kid named James Allen. He was the All-Sun Belt Conference punter at Georgia State. He's an Australian kid, which puts him number one in the heart of Mark Parlange, obviously, and he is certainly able to do a drop kick. So at some point in time, you will see it, or I'll get fired. And then the place kicking is going to be Garth White is a kid who came in from SC, had finished up in the second team role there. Got a big leg, but we got to see the performance there. We still have a number of other people that if we stumble, we've got people that can come in there and fill in. So the pieces are there. I think the coaching's there. We just got to go out and play right and win the first one.
And you've got Dominic Mazza from Classical High School coming in as a true freshman who played baseball for Coach Steve MacDonald. How about that?
There's claims.
I'll tell you,
there's claims to fame for everything, man. That would be it.
You give me a kid in one sport, and I'll make sure he plays college in another sport.
One of the coolest kids we have. I swear,
he's a good dude.
I'm telling you now. I mean, he's a kid that was a soccer player, just kind of picked up kicking and. He hits it straight and he hits it pure, and he's just got that kind of he must have gotten that good competitive training from his baseball coach.
Absolutely. He can track a fly ball, so if you need an extra receiver, you give him a chance, will you? Hey, we're going to take a break. AJ's coming up next, and then Dev after that. Coach, we're excited about getting going. The off-season's fun, but getting back to the season is great. 47 hours away, brother. Let's get it going. Jim Fleming, ladies and gentlemen. Great. Back in a bit. Welcome back once again to the Mews Tavern, George McAuliffe's place. Pete Sherman's over there. Milan Azar is here. The heavy hitters are out tonight for URI football Friday night, 6 o'clock. Tickets still available, a few of them anyway. 874 Rams, GoRhody.com. I mean, absolutely have to sell out Meade Stadium for Friday night. I know there was talk of a little rain. It's going to be earlier in the day. It's going to be sunny at 6 o'clock, and then under the lights for the second half. Under the lights is the way to play football, right, AJ?
Always.
Oh, man. Does that get you blood flowing a little bit as a player?
Yeah, it brings me back to my high school days.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely, right? Good stuff. AJ Pena is with us. All-American linebacker from the University of Rhode Island. And I could list all your accomplishments and accolades, but wouldn't be able to ask you any questions. But I'll run through a few of them. 2023, Phil Steele, All-CAA, and a bunch of other All-New England and everything. 2024, the same ones there. And then FCS, Football Central, first team, all bunch of first-team All-America selections in different polls. Number 7 in the USA in TFLs last year. Number 10 in the USA in sacks last year, right? That's big-time stuff. And in the all-time list at the University of Rhode Island, knocking on the door, some of the big names, Frank Ferrara and Lou D'Agostino, all the big names, and you're either have passed them or are just creeping up on them, getting up there on Frank's numbers. And do you pay attention to that stuff?
That's a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I like a little bit legacy, so
yeah,
definitely.
Did that enter into a little bit of why you are here today? Because you said, hey, I want to go down as the best linebacker ever at the University of Rhode Island.
It definitely played a huge part into it.
Yeah, legacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Legacy. I've seen all those guys play, everybody on those lists, right? I was putting the list together. I got it down here somewhere in my notes. But all those different guys, Frank Ferrara, Lou D'Agostino, we got LeJean Jones, LB Mack, right? Yeah. And Frank we mentioned, and bunch of guys, right? Seen them all. And they're all great. And I'm not going to say you're better than everybody, but I'm going to say you belong in that category of guys as the very best that Rhode Island has ever had at that position. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Without question. So for you, talk about, we're going to look ahead, but just to look behind for 1 minute, since the end of last year to the beginning of this year, it's been an interesting ride for you.
It definitely has been an interesting ride. But I'm so happy to be here and be in the presence of everybody here. I can't wait for Friday. It's going to be a show, and I really just can't wait.
Transferred to Memphis, came back from Memphis to the University of Rhode Island. What drew you back? What were the reasons why you said, you know what, Coach Flem, I want to come home?
I mean, who doesn't want to play for Coach Flem? Number one, I love that guy.
Me too. We've
been through a lot of stuff together, a lot of deep talks. And I love the people here and the coaching staff. It's very important that people understand that it's hard to find people that genuinely care about you. And with a situation like mine, I had a good understanding of what I built, and I wasn't going to let it all go to waste going somewhere else. And my heart was here, and it led me back here, and that's what's important. So.
You put a smile on a lot of URI faces, I tell you, when you decided to come home. Because we want you nowhere else. A long list of awards and accolades for you going into this year. You're on everybody's preseason list. You're on the watch list for the Buck Buchanan Award that goes to the best defensive player in FCS football. How do you keep yourself grounded? How do you put that aside and do your business?
I'm so critical of myself, and I know, like, everybody sees, like, the accolades, but I know the real, and I know what I have to do about the little things in my game. So, like, I know I'm just always going to continue to take strides, and all the accolades is I work hard for that. That comes with the work that I put in, and that just comes with it. But, like, I just want to win at all costs, right? And being a leader like Coach Fleming has put me to do and be a captain, it's all going to all fall in place, and I'm very excited. So
now, do you have goals for yourself at the beginning of a season? Numbers?
Yeah, I put it in a piece of paper, but I don't share it with anybody.
Okay.
But yeah.
Anybody but me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When you look at season numbers, we talked about career numbers at URI, and you're chasing those, and you got a great shot at getting every one of them by the time you're done. Season numbers as well. TFLs, Frank Ferreira had 27 in a year. Sacks in a season, 15 for Frank. He's at the top of the list. You're pretty close behind him last year. But are those numbers that you say, okay, this was the best in the season, this is how I'm going out?
Definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I'm not telling you anything you don't know with these numbers, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You've got those taped somewhere in your room, and you got them. That is awesome. One of 4 captains on this team. What does that mean to you?
It means everything to me. And now I have an understanding that I have a different spotlight on me, just like Coach Fleming said. And I'm working on this thing called controlled aggression. And in terms of just managing my anger. And it's this having the captain title. It's not just a title, but it's more than that. But it makes me have more of an eyeglass on it. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Last year, CAA champs, 2025. Camp is over. How is this team different than last year's team?
I feel like we're more – obviously, it was a senior-heavy team, but I feel like we're more – the glue is there, right? And the standards and the culture that we built is still in sync. And that's something that I noticed coming back in the spring game when I saw it was still there. And, like – we have a lot of younger guys now, right? So now I'm in that role now, right? I was a freshman. I had to see Yanni, Jake Fire, Sebi, all those different guys, and now I'm in that position now. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a big reality check for me too.
Yeah.
But I'm built for this, so I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah. After the title last year, a lot of talk was, hey, the offense is coming back intact. That running back position filled up. It was empty at first, but with the portal that filled up. They said the questions will be on the defensive side. Now that you came back, some of those questions have been answered. Other guys have been impressive in camp. Your assessment of the URI defense?
We're a gritty group, right? Like I said, I still feel we got to figure out our identity still just a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And that's right. It's Friday. That's going to be the test, right? But we're going to figure everything out, and everything's going to be in sync, right? Our offense is going to score a lot of points, and I feel like that's going to fuel our fire, and it's going to set the standard for the whole game and the tempo of the game, and we just have to be a well-oiled machine and can't just fracture.
At that linebacker crew with you, Cole is gone, Devin's gone, right? Devin Hightower, not Devin Farrell. You're staying. But you got some good linebackers to fill in those spots.
Yeah, Moses Mews, he's a hitter, he's a thudder. That dude's gonna run down and try to take your head off. That's just who he is. But he's also a great guy too, high character guy. Rowe, very smart and he is very obsessed with the game and in his craft. And I feel like that's very important, especially at that position, right? Sideline to sideline mentality, and you're gonna see it on tape. It's gonna be awesome.
And I know you're focused on Friday, focused on 2025. But as you look at your future after the University of Rhode Island, what are your goals there?
Goals, I had these goals ever since I was a little kid. I always had aspirations to go to the NFL and play pro. And part of the reason coming back, I know I can do that here in the spotlight that I have and everything, the tools and the resources that I have here. And I'm very excited. Like I said, that's all going to come with my play and how I study, and it's something I'm thinking about, obviously, but I'm worried about Campbell,
Friday night, 6 o'clock. Get your tickets, 874-RAMS. I like that. To finish up, we usually do a Know Your Hometown. We'd ask some players questions about their hometown. We've had AJ and Dev on a few times, so we've already done that. So we're going to switch around and do Know Your Second Hometown, which is Kingston or Rhode Island, right? Okay,
yes,
so
sir.
Questions about the state of Rhode Island. True or false, right? True or false? Rhode Island is the smallest state in the country. Alaska is the largest state in the country. You could fit over 400 Rhode Islands in Alaska. Is that true or false? Don't be looking at my paper.
I'm sorry. True?
That is true. Very good.
Thank you.
Excellent. 425 Rhode Islands fit into Alaska. How about that? Here's another one for you. You ready? Multiple choice. What Hall of Fame is located over the bridge in Newport? The Skydiving Hall of Fame, the Tennis Hall of Fame, or the Auto Racing Hall of Fame?
Tennis Hall of Fame.
Tennis Hall of Fame is right. Dev, you're going to get different questions, but this is a competition to see who gets the most. You got one more here, okay? This is a tricky one. It's going to take my prediction is you might not get this. I didn't get this one. Name 3 states, the only 3 states that border the state of Rhode Island. 3 states border the state of Rhode Island. Come up against Rhode Island at one edge or another. What would they be?
Connecticut?
Connecticut is one, yes. Up north, it would be Massachusetts. That's right. So those are 2. The third one's a little tricky. Don't think of land. Think of water. Where are we going in a couple of weeks?
New York.
New York, Long Island,
New
right?
York.
There you go.
New York.
Dev, should we give him that one? Dev says no. All right, you're 2 out of 3. No, we're going to give it to you. AJ, you're the best. We appreciate you so much, and good luck on Friday night. We're looking forward to seeing you play, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you. AJ Pena, Devin Farrell coming up in a bit. Welcome back once again to the Mews Tavern. Steve MacDonald with Devin Farrell. I want to thank AJ for being here. Coach, of course, as well. It is the Jim Fleming Coaches Show. You ought to be here. We want to thank all our friends from Newport Propane. Pete Sherman is here. Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Family owned and operated since 1959. Newport Propane will treat you like part of the family. Visit them at newportpropane.com. The Pizza Gourmet, John Parenti's here. John and Linda, Rhode Island's Wood Grilled Pizza Crust is a proud sponsor of URI football. Order online today at woodgrilledcrust.com. That's woodgrilledcrust.com. And Ortho, Rhode Island, whether you're a weekend warrior or suiting up for Rhody, Ortho, Rhode Island offers the best-in-class orthopedic care and help you keep healthy and active. Learn more about the Rams' official orthopedic and sports medicine providers at orthori.com or call 401-777-7000. Devin Farrell is with us. Now, Devin, I was I was listening to Tammy Reese. She did a coach's show a couple of months ago during the summer with Zach Austin, who's the play-by-play guy. Your voice does a great job for URI women's basketball. She was talking about Pickup Fridays over the summer, where she had some of the basketball players or some of the football players coming down playing some basketball, and she said Devin Farrell was one of them.
Yeah.
Am I ratting you out in front of Coach here? I don't know.
Hey, we're healthy right now, so that's all that matters.
It's all in the past, Coach.
Yes, sir.
How's that ankle doing? All right.
We're good. Yeah, myself and AJ, a couple of the receivers, even Brock Bethea got on the court a couple of times, so we had a blast out there.
I'd like to see Brock out there. AJ, you were out there? Oh, that's fantastic. You played hoops in high school, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, Marquise didn't play? He
played too, yeah. I've heard he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's very good, yeah. Devin, we talked to Coach about the fact that there wasn't a competition for the #1 spot in quarterback this time. For you, it was a different camp, right? You were able to prepare yourself. How was it different for you?
It was different in a lot of ways. Just I think last year I was trying to work my way up, and I always, keep that underdog mentality. But this year it's more so I was trying to lead guys and bring guys along with me more so than just myself. So the camp, it went well. And I'm just blessed to be in the position that I am in today.
CCSU last year, you were hurt, not able to play. Mercer, you were hurt, not able to play.
Yeah.
You're healthy now. After you left that Mercer game, did you say to yourself, man, I'm hungry for a playoff game?
Oh, definitely. That was that's all I've been hearing since we lost that game, and all I've been thinking and feeling since we lost that game. So I'm just excited to get back out there and put on a show for everybody.
Where is your game right now? What are people going to see Friday night against Campbell?
I believe I'm working towards being a complete quarterback. So that means running, passing, handing the ball off when I'm supposed to, just making all the right decisions and being efficient.
Now, people use the term dual threat, right? And there are true dual threat quarterbacks. Do you consider yourself a dual threat, or are you more of a very good passer who can use his feet to get out of trouble and create?
I think in the past I've been more run heavy, but as like I just mentioned, I'm trying to work on being a complete quarterback. So all around, I can make checks at the line. I can distribute the ball any way it needs to be distributed. So
talk about being a quarterback. It's a lot more complicated than it used to be. You used to get the call from the sideline and run the play. Right now with RPOs, you get a lot of decisions to make even before that ball is snapped.
Yes, sir. And then we just got a new system in our helmets where we can hear our coaches talking to us and the plays and stuff. So with our new offense, that's very helpful. Going through my pre-snap progressions and
So with the new system, has that been difficult to make that transition to be able to hear?
Not at all. It's been very helpful because I'm already, I already have a thought process. I know I feel like I know what I need to do out on the field for each play, but just hearing my coach, basically double check with me and remind me of certain things, it just makes it, it helps me move a lot faster on the field. And
then that gets cut off, and then you're on your own from there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Excellent. That decision making, you seem to be above the grade, well above average in that area of the game. When you look at quarterback being successful, 100%, right? Of the 100%, how much is athletic ability, talent, and how much is intelligence, decision-making ability?
I think you can't play this position without being intelligent. Yeah. I think from Lamar Jackson to Patrick Mahomes to Josh Allen, they're all intelligent. Peyton Manning wasn't that mobile, but he had it up here, So
Yep.
I think intelligence definitely overrides athleticism.
Hey, at quarterback position for a while there, you didn't have many names, and then all of a sudden everybody came to town. You got yourself a big crew and some talented guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talk about Littleton. We've heard a lot about. I've seen him at camp, and wow, he's explosive
all around. I don't want to mention certain people's names and leave out people, but it's pretty much everybody. We have so much depth this year, and I just want to do my job so they could get everything that they deserve.
Is it different for you? Is it a process for you to be able to coordinate with a different running back there? You got different faces, different names, just as far as connecting on handoffs and things of that sort. Do you get into a familiarity with players, or is it much the same as handed off to Malik Grant?
Yeah, you definitely have to get a familiarity with players because, Malik was probably 5'3".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Antoine's probably 6'1". So
go right over him.
So just getting those reps in the off season was big for us across the board with the tight ends, even the O-line, the cadence and all that, the operation and stuff. So.
You got some receivers that you're familiar with, though. That must make it fun, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Number 1 and number 8.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we have Omari, number 11, Jamal Mensah, number 9.
Number 14.
14, Abora. Ryan Black, number 84. Angel, 89. Stank, that coach mentioned, 85.
Yeah.
It's all around. So
now, how about you? Last year was a little rocky. Numbers were great, but just being able to get on the field.
Yeah.
This year, 100% feeling great.
Yes, sir. I feel good. I mean, I don't really look in too much on the stats. Only we know what goes on behind closed doors and stuff like that. So stats don't really portray that.
Your numbers were very good, but it's just
not to my standards. So I don't allow that to affect me. But as long as we get the win, that's the main thing. That's my main goal, is to win.
A lot of expectations. What have you seen in camp about this team?
Just a group of people who really care for each other. That's the main thing, from the coaches to the players on both sides, the specialists even. We're all just here with each other, and we're all on the same goal, same mind track. love to be around each other. You know?
All CAA last year, right? Preseason All CAA this year as well. One of the great quarterbacks, you and Derek Robertson, right? Everybody says it's the two of you. You're going to watch his stats a little bit from Monmouth? He's good.
All right.
Right? At the end of the week, do you say, okay, this is what I did, this is what he did?
Oh, no, I don't look at anything that anybody else is doing. I only focus on myself.
All right.
I think that's big for me because if you start to look around, you feel like you're behind, but if you're just racing against yourself, how are you losing, you know? So
Absolutely. Know your second hometown. You ready? AJ got 2 out of 3.
Right.
We're not giving him the last one, okay? Name 2 of the major state beaches in South County. 2 of the major state beaches in South County.
South County, okay.
Right around here.
I stay in Narragansett.
Narragansett, yeah.
We'll go with Narragansett Pier.
Narragansett is
the beach.
That's a town beach, but we're going to give it to you.
Beach,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we'll give you partial credit. Show all work.
Is it Scarborough?
Scarborough is good.
Cool.
Well, we'll take both of those. Excellent. Name one food place at the Emporium at URI. Where can you get food?
Oh, that's easy.
Well, if it's so easy.
Let's go with Subway.
Subway? Okay.
Consistent.
All right. Nice and unique to Rhode Island. Subway, yeah. You can't find those anywhere else. And within 5 miles, tell me how many miles it would take you to get from campus to the Rhode Island State House. So basically, Providence.
The State House.
Right in Providence. Within 5 miles, give me how many miles it takes. This is the one to beat AJ.
I mean, I didn't get invited last year, so I wouldn't really know.
No. Just I don't even know what that's a reference to. Just the city, just to get to the city.
Oh, to the city.
Providence, yeah.
To Prov. You said within 5?
No, so if it was 100, you get 95 or 105 would be okay.
Okay.
I'll give you a little margin.
Okay, I got you.
It's not 100.
So it's about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It's weird with Rhode Island, though. I go 23 miles.
I didn't think you were going to do the math. You know what? 23. It's 29.
Okay.
That is wrong. You were 6 off. Hey, Dev, make it up to us. Just throw a couple of touchdown passes on Friday night. That'll be awesome. Devin, we're so happy to have you back and ready to go this year. Thanks so much for all you do for the University of Rhode Island, and we are fired up about Friday night. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate you. All right. Devin Farrell, thanks for coming to the Mews, everybody. Go Rhody. See you Friday.